What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So we have got some breaking news coming from the Cosmic Wonder. We've got Thor 5, new Thor villain, and Doctor Strange 3 announcements. So let's go ahead and see what he's got to say. What do you got for us?
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. I'm Warren Thompson, and today we have some really big news for the MCU. Two new projects, two really big projects right now are currently in development at Marvel Studios, both of which are sequels, and the movies that we got last for them were pretty controversial. However, we do have some plot details for one of the films, and we'll talk about what the other one could be about and how they both could be extremely better than their predecessor films. One is Doctor Strange 3. Now, we know about this, we've heard about it for a little bit now, but we have an update. It has now been listed in Production Weekly, meaning it is moving along. We'll dive into some details about this, but remember, this needs to come out, presumably, before Avengers The Kang Dynasty. At least that's what we've been told by some insiders. And the other project is Thor 5. Now, we pretty much knew that Thor was not done after the events of Thor Love and Thunder. Yes, the movie did receive a lot of criticism, and a lot of people said that they did not like this movie. The same kind of goes for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. There are a lot of people out there who said they didn't like it. However, as we've learned, there are many people out there that said that they have loved the film and actually won awards as well. Fan awards, proving that fans actually did love the movie. But there, of course, are groups out there who hated this movie, and a lot of people really did not like Thor Love and Thunder. And for those people, unfortunately, we have some news about the director, and you might not like this news, but we do also have news about the villain of Thor 5. Taika Waititi has opened up a little bit about it in a new special book for Thor Love and Thunder, and we'll break down everything you need to know. And if you want to stay up to date on the MCU, be sure to subscribe, and if you subscribe and leave a comment, you're automatically entered in our giveaway for a chance to win an Xbox Series X, a PS5, some Marvel Legends items, and some DC items as well. We pick one winner at the end of each month, and the winner gets to pick one item. So we do have a lot of information about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, including what the plot is going to be about. But let's first talk about Thor 5, because according to a recent report, Taika Waititi is going to be returning to direct the next Thor film. Now, this may upset some people, because I've heard a lot of people say the next Thor film needs to be directed by somebody other than Taika Waititi. But before you get super nervous, let's talk about what Chris Hemsworth has talked about when he was discussing the next Thor film after Thor Love and Thunder. Chris Hemsworth, after Thor Love and Thunder, did say that he would return for a Thor 5. However, he did say that the script would have to be different, that the tone would have to be different, and Thor himself would have to be a completely different Thor than what we saw in Thor Love and Thunder. So right away, the fans who are worried that this is just going to be maybe an even more elevated Thor Love and Thunder, you don't really have to worry about that. In fact, it sounds like we're going to go in a completely different direction, and that could possibly be a more serious Thor. Thor Ragnarok was an incredible movie, and that movie was a great blend of comedy and seriousness. Then Thor Love and Thunder came and basically doubled down on the comedy. And most of the complaints were that it was just too comedic and not serious enough. So if Chris Hemsworth is talking about taking Thor, the character, in a different direction than what we've seen, then that is going in a different direction than a comedic and silly Thor. And there are many super serious versions of Thor in the comics. And in fact, there are some really dark Thor stories in the comics. For example, Rune King Thor is one of the strongest Thors that we've ever seen, and he's a very serious character. And he's also extremely powerful. He has the power of the Odin Force, and he can use rune magic. So if we were taking Thor into a different direction, this is a direction I would love to see them push towards. I don't think he could probably become Rune King Thor in the very next film, just because the character progression hasn't been there yet to build up to that. However, if Chris Hemsworth isn't done with Thor and wants to stick around for a couple of more films, this is definitely something that they could build up to, which I think a lot of fans would really enjoy seeing. Now, in the Thor Love and Thunder, the official movie special book, Taika Waititi has already talked about the villain of Thor 5, and he's revealed that the villain is going to be more powerful than Hela. Now, we're assuming that Thor 5 is going to come out before the events of Avengers Secret Wars. So one thing that we're obviously thinking about is the possibility that the villain could actually be a variant of Kang the Conqueror. Kang and Thor have definitely gone head to head in in Marvel Comics. And right now, Thor hasn't really been involved with any of the events that are kind of taking place in the MCU right now. Yes, Thor Love and Thunder is seemingly going to have some pretty big effects for the MCU, considering how it introduced a cosmic entity, Eternity. But there is going to need to be something that gets him into the fight, something that pulls him into the specific battle against Kang the Conqueror, a reason for him to actually return to Earth. So what would make the most sense continuity-wise is for him to be fighting Kang. Maybe not the main prime Kang, but a variant of Kang. And this will put Kang on his radar, and this will make him have to go back to Earth to consult the new Avengers team. There is also another way that still could connect to Kang, and this would follow up the events of the Marvels. We know that in the Marvels, in some way, shape, or form, they are going to connect everything to Kang the Conqueror. Specifically because his technology, the bangles that Kamala Khan is wearing and the other one being worn by Dar-Benn, is his technology, is Kang technology.
I didn't know that either.
A film where Carol Danvers is going to different parts of the galaxy. So probably not in the actual movie, but after the movie, the Marvels, we could find out that Carol Danvers goes and pays Thor a visit and says, hey, there's something going on here, and we're going to need your help. That's another way to directly get Thor involved in the events of Kang the Conqueror, if Kang is not going to be the villain of Thor 5. Thor has a lot of different villains he could go up against, and keep in mind, we haven't seen Beta Ray Bill. So hopefully he will show up at some point in time, since we have already visited his home world in Avengers Endgame, and we did see a statue of him in Thor Ragnarok. And of course, we have to consider Hercules. In the Thor Love and Thunder post-credit scene, Hercules was set up to be the next villain of the next Thor film. However, in the comics, Hercules and Thor are friends, so I'm expecting something pretty similar to happen here. I don't think he's going to go on to become a main villain of the next Thor film or a main villain of the MCU. I think eventually him and Thor are going to be buddies. Perhaps he could even recruit Hercules into the fight against Kang. I'm assuming that Thor is going to basically explain everything that happened in Thor Love and Thunder, stating he had no choice. He had to kill Gore before he killed all of the gods. He was simply trying to save all of the gods' lives, including Hercules and his father, Zeus. So I'm assuming once Thor explains everything and they stop fighting, he's gonna eventually come around and see, okay, Thor wasn't really trying to do anything bad. He was just trying to save everybody. So I would like to think that a Kang variant is going to be the villain of Thor 5, and we're going to have a much more serious vibe since Kang is threatening not only Thor's universe, but the entire multiverse itself. And that is where Doctor Strange comes in. According to Production Weekly, Doctor Strange is a Marvel Studios project that is in production right now. Now, obviously, the strikes are going on, so some things are on hold, but it is in production. Meaning, this is a project that they are trying to get out pretty quickly, and like I mentioned, they most likely want this out before the Kang Dynasty. That's what
hopefully
we've heard
not
from
too
insiders.
quick
Now,
and they don't mess it
what we know about
up.
this film is, of course, it's going to deal with incursions, but it's also going to deal with sort of a multiversal group who is going to be responsible for kind of stopping these incursions and correcting them. And according to insider Alex P. from the Cosmic Circus, this group is going to be the Black Priests, a multiversal organization that Clea is a part of. And they have found that
I was
two
wondering who
people
she
are
was.
at the center of all of these incursions and essentially the multiverse going into chaos, and these two people are the reasons that it could ultimately be destroyed. One of those persons is Kang, course, and the other one is Doctor Strange himself. Now, John Krasinski's Mr. Fantastic of the 838 universe kind of talked about this, but he didn't go into a lot of detail. He did say, though, they have found that the biggest threat to their universe and the multiverse is Doctor Strange. Now, what's interesting is that at one point in time in Marvel Comics, Doctor Strange is actually the leader of the Black Priests. So they could be setting that up for the future of the MCU as well. But right now, we are finding out that these more recent projects that are going to be coming to the MCU are really starting to set up and connect to Avengers the Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars. Now, Doctor Strange 3 is supposedly going to adapt a Time Runs Out storyline. Time Runs Out was a Marvel comic story that led directly up to Avengers Secret Wars. And what's really interesting is that the story did not end well. They did not keep the multiverse from being destroyed. A lot of incursions happened, and essentially what ended up happening is that many heroes ended up leaving Earth before it collided with another Earth. That's where the story ended, and they went directly into Secret Wars from there. So, it might be safe to say Doctor Strange 3 is not going to end well. He is not going to be able to undo some incursions that he caused, and might even cause some more incursions. But of course, keep in mind that it's not just him. Kang is causing incursions as well, which is another reason why we believe that Kang, or a variant of Kang, could be the main villain of Thor 5. This honestly just makes a lot of sense, and would really start to tie everything together through all parts of our universe. So, Thor 5 is officially in development. It looks like they kind of started it not too long after Thor Love and Thunder. Taika Waititi seems to be the director again, and of course Chris Hemsworth is going to be returning as Thor, in which he has said they will have a very different tone for Thor. So, hopefully Thor 5 is going to be a banger of a movie and connect deeply to Avengers King Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars. But go ahead and let us know your thoughts about this in the comments down below. What would you like to see from Thor 5, and who would you like the villain to be? Leave all your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video, and of course subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest MCU news. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter as well. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.
I can't even say, because like I didn't grow up with the comics, but this is just, I wouldn't say it's mind-blowing, but it's always so interesting to see how everything connects. So apparently the Bengals from the Marvels is also connected to the Kang, the powers with Kang and stuff like that, just like Shang-Chi. And I was like, wait a minute now? No wonder this stuff connects. Now, I was wondering who that lady was at the end of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and apparently I'm told that she's from the comics, so I knew then that something was up. And then when I saw Doctor Strange in that third eye, I was like, oh, something's up, but as far as Thor 5, I like Thor. I liked the last movie. I think it would be pretty cool if he's coming back as something different. We don't know if that's going to be something, you know, more serious, less comedic. I kind of like the comedy, not too much of it, but I do like it. And as far as the Doctor Strange stuff and them trying to hurry up, bring it out, like I don't like hearing that they're trying to rush to bring out a movie that could be really, really good. And that's why I said, like, hopefully they don't mess it up, because I hate when a movie comes out and it has so much potential, but because they wanted to hurry up and rush and bring it out, it was just not the greatest, you know what I mean? So I don't mind them taking their time with that, but that's just my opinion as a fan. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think of all of this news. Let me know if you guys would love to see Thor 5. Did you enjoy the last Thor movie? Did you enjoy the last Doctor Strange movie? What are your thoughts on who the villain should be when it comes to Thor 5? I can't even tell you guys, because I don't know which way this is gonna go. So I'm just open to seeing, just wondering who it's gonna be. That's just my opinion. But leave all your comments down below, and if you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel, hit like, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you guys can get notified whenever I pop up on your feed. I'll see you guys later. Toodle!